change. Cats actually have instinct. When I watch them and I see them after they're eating, they clean their paws and they clean their face, similar to lions and tigers that are in the wild who have actually killed their food. That is instinct, something that you do without thinking about it, and it's something built into them. When I was 12 years old and I had started my period for that month, my whole attitude changed. No one was home, and I was about to put some music on and dance because I was just in the mood to do that. But the moment that I realized that my period had started for that month, I felt down and I felt like I could not enjoy life. Just because my period had started. I wasn't taught this, and my mother did not raise me to be this way. It just came into my head. My next thought was, I'm only 12 years old, and I got a lot of years to be going through this of not being happy just because I'm on my period. The next thought after that was, you can still be happy. So I turned the music on and I danced and I enjoyed myself. I am that person that has to think good thoughts on purpose. I noticed that at a young age, that my first thought was negative. And for a moment, I acted on it. We are not animals. In Genesis chapter 1, verses 27 to 28, it says, So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. We don't have instinct. We have choice. We can choose to behave in certain ways, and we can choose to think certain ways. I didn't like the thought at that time when I was 12. I didn't like the thought of feeling down for years to come just because I was on my period. So I made a choice to be happy. We all have the ability to choose to think better. If we have to make this choice daily, we can. Every morning or several times throughout the day. We can. A lasting change doesn't take place without God's help. In Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Notice that scripture did not tell us the frequency of how often to renew our mind, which says to me that we can renew it as often as we need to. My encouraging scripture is going to come from 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. The last thing that I would like to say is, if you read Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, and this is a promise that you claim as yours, you'll know that negative thoughts are not in obedience to Christ.